And welcome back to the show. Well, of course, Lee and I went along to Supanova in Melbourne to check out everything that was going on at Supanova this year. We went to a whole bunch of the Q&As. We also went and did a lot of the shopping experiences and things that were there as well. But Lee, what were your highlights for Supanova this year?
Okay, so the two actresses who were my highlights. Number one was Ivana Lynch, of course, who plays Luna Lovegood in Harry Potter. I just found that Ivana as a person is so down to earth, but also kind of mysterious in some ways too, much like her character. I enjoyed hearing her talk about Harry Potter, her time with the cast and crew, her interactions with the actor that played her father on screen, and how much she admired him and looked up to him, and the friendships she still has with cast members. And I think for some actors, they become a little bit jaded by the past and sometimes regret some of their initial work, whereas with Ivana I found her to have pride in her work, to still have a genuine love for her character and for the books. She said she still reads the books of Harry Potter regularly, and she just loves the character of Luna. So we heard a little bit about how she came to be the character, how she got her family to support her, and how her dad took her to auditions and really believed in her, and how her mum, I guess, really felt for her if she was to go for an audition and she didn't get it. She knew how much she loved the character and was invested in that, and if she didn't get the part it would be devastating, but we all know she got it. So but those risks that she took and the amount of work she put into that character just was astounding, and that really came through in her talk. And so I think I love her character even more after having seen her, and I already loved the character. But very interestingly, I think she noted that her screen time is only about, it was like less than 10 minutes, maybe 8 minutes or so, I think.
Yeah, I think she was referring that as time when she was speaking.
Yeah,
so,
speaking time.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see her in a lot of shots in the background.
It also sounded like there was a lot of her stuff that might have been cut out,
Yes.
because she made reference a couple of times to, did they leave that in? So it sounds like there may have been a bit of Luna that got cut out too. So
yeah, which is a shame. But I think the thing that really stood out to me was that her screen time wasn't that much. However, as someone who loves Harry Potter, I would never have really thought that the screen time was that little, because her character makes such a significant it plays such a significant role in the scheme of things, and just comes with wisdom and that believe in yourself even if others don't accept you as who you are, just be free to be yourself. That encouraging, beautiful character who finds friends, who's usually a loner, but also is, has that confidence in themselves to be themselves. So yeah, I would never have thought that her screen time was that little, because there's such a following, and in the Q&A that we attended, the room was full. There were so many followers of that character, which just shows that when you perform well and someone really connects with your character, it doesn't matter how much screen time you have, that character will live on and live on for years and years to come.
Yeah, and there was a lot of people dressed up as Luna as well there on the weekend. So to follow up, what was the other one that you said that you really, really enjoyed as well?
So the other one that I enjoyed was Emily Betts. Emily Bett Rickards, who of course played Felicity in Arrow. She's in other things as well. She's in Calamity, which is more recent. Now, I haven't seen that yet, but I want to. I think with Emily, what really stood out to me is I found her to be quite different to her character, and that was, that's good to see the person rather than the character. And I felt like we really saw the person of Emily here, this wonderful lady who, Canadian, seems like a country horse girl, and we saw a lot of that coming through, how much she loves horses, and even she had to give up some of her time with horses and riding so that she could become an actress and could do everything expected of her as an actress. And so it was just lovely hearing, some of her personal story. Of course, her love for the character of Felicity as well. Definitely someone who really enjoyed playing that role and really, loved the cast around her as well. Now, you saw her as well. Was there anything that was a highlight for you?
I think it was just hearing them talk about the Arrow universe. Like, Arrow in the DC universe was kind of a weird fit, as she mentioned a couple of times, because it's a lot darker than the other shows. So she said, like, when she did crossovers with The Flash and things like that, she said it almost felt like going on a holiday because those shows were a lot lighter than what the subject matter that they were experiencing on Arrow at that time. And that kind of thing really interests me because, and she also said that when they used to do crossovers, it was almost a nightmare because often it meant just double work, like, because your show doesn't always go easy. She said sometimes they might give her a couple of less scenes, but it was just interesting to hear that because I'd heard that previously with some of the Buffy cast saying when they used to go over to Angel, it was the same thing. They never used to cut down on the amount of scenes they were in Buffy. It just meant double work basically for that week. So as fans, we all kind of sit back and go, oh, great, it's a crossover, like. But for the actors, it's like, oh, great, I've got to go and do a crossover. So
she did enjoy it, though.
She did enjoy it, but she said, it's not as glamorous as what people think a crossover is going to be. So, yeah.
I think the other thing that stood out to me is her love for writing, which I didn't realise.
Yeah.
And she seems to spend a lot of her time in the background writing. So really hope to see projects come out over the years of the writing that she
And Ivana was
shapes.
the same. Ivana said that she hoped that she has a novel out in the next couple of years as well. So, something that was definitely there. But we'll take a break at the moment and go to a song, and we'll be back in just a moment with part 2 of our look at Supernova.